يكأي يخستيني يوهان أتكاديكت كنا تشيشات يا عادي. Good to see everybody. The time has come for our class, and thank you for coming. As folks are rolling in, I'm going to pull up our slides for today. All right, so it's week 3, October 25th. We took a break last week for AFN. Shiksani Keek is back from her travels. We got a chance to share stories about our time at AFN, and we'll open a little discussion today about it as well. So before we hop in, just a reminder, if you do miss a class, please check out the recordings because all these classes are recorded, so you can refer back, see what you missed. They're all posted on YouTube on the Lingit and Haida YouTube channel, and I have a link here, so I'll paste this in the chat, and that way, if you're not able to make it if you have a busy lunch hour one day, no problem, you can pop in and watch it on YouTube. So I'll paste this in the chat. There you go. So on the menu for today, we like to open up with questions and answers for folks so that we have open communication with you and that we're meeting you where you're at and answering your questions. So we'll start with that, then we'll move on to vowels. We'll have a brief discussion about the importance of vowels and why it's so important to practice them and learn them. We'll share some resources on vowels. After that, we'll go on to our continued dialogue that we have going with our knock knock. We'll introduce a couple new phrases for you so you can continue to build your conversational greetings. And then we'll have a discussion, and that will be it for today. So first off, questions and answers. And Shiksani Keek, did you have anything else to add?
Yeah, we had quite a few questions about names, and we worked on that and got the answers out as well as we could figure out. So I hope if you have any further questions, be sure and let us know.
Okay, so with that, do folks have any questions for us? And just a reminder, you can use the raise your hand icon, and that will put you at the top of my screen so we can call on you. Oh, Merv?
Yeah, when I was looking for a pet name, I was just wondering if that's something that we kind of self-identify with. Like, was that what we're looking for when we're looking for pet names?
Well, usually if you don't know your Tlingit name or don't have one because of the tribe you're in or nationality, we just let you choose some kind of name that can be used for classroom only. It's not like we're going to do a naming ceremony, which is really important. So if you have a name, and we call it a pet name because we only use it for class.
I see.
So did you have a question about what you want to use, or?
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at just things that I was like professionally, I'm a teacher, so I don't know if there would be any name that would go along with something like that, or yeah, I'm not sure. I'm still just there's a lot to go through on that dictionary. So just looking through all of that and just trying to find things that I might identify with. So
Uh, I know we have a word for teacher, but it might be more interesting to maybe choose a subject or uh, something like that that shows your interest or
okay, like you mean like like an academic subject? Is that what you're?
yeah,
Okay,
something like that. Or
I do
something
teach history.
something you really like to do, skiing or boating or whatever.
Okay, that's good to know.
So you can do that. Think about it and uh, send us an email in regards to how to find it or write it.
All right, I will.
Okay.
Gonna teach for your question. And we also have a question from Shawat Kedan.
Hello. So this this is Kagan.
Kagan, is that your baby's name?
Kagan. Yeah. And I know last week somebody when we were doing the little groups told me what it means, but I didn't write it down, so I can't exactly remember.
Kadan.
Get down and stand up.
Oh, is this stand up? Gedahan. Can you spell his name?
I spelled it Kiegan.
Keigaan. Kagan. Kagan.
Click on. It's probably an underlined K at the beginning. It sounds like it's on a click on means sunshine.
Oh. Okay.
Is that does that sound right or
They said last time they said it had something to do with like a loud voice, but I didn't spell it for them, so I don't know if that's how you would spell it. I just
yeah?
tried to get it as I could.
Click on actually it's a G underline G. G-I. Gone G-A-A-N.
So the G would be underlined.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would be a different sound if it was underline K. So it sounds more like a if it's sunshine, that's the way to spell it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Good.
You're
Good
welcome.
teach.
Cheese. Okay. Dusha, you have a question?
Yeah, AFM looked great from my Instagram perspective. I was wondering if you had a rose and a thorn of the weekend.
The thorn is pretty easy, all the politics. Yeah, I think it's overkill because you get it on the news and you get phone calls but I think it's kind of interesting to see them in person and to hear. I wasn't down at AFN for the second day when all the politicians were there, but I watched it on Zoom. So the wonderful thing was, and the thing that I was really, really interested in was the indigenous language group. And what did they do? They had breakout rooms, and they didn't. There was no way to get in there if you were on Zoom. That was a
Oh,
big interest for me and a disappointment.
oh, dang.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what happened, but um, I sure would like to have been there for that. I went to the banquet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was really good music.
Yeah, Mark Brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
And,
Cheesh.
yeah, it was. I think that was really a good ending to AFN. I really compliment Julie Kitka for all the things. It used to be she, in the old days, she would be up there constantly talking, but I didn't even hear anything from her. I don't think this time.
Mhm.
Because there were so many different chairs that was able to take over, and that was a good experience
Mhm.
to hear that.
Yeah, that was a fun banquet. I went with my dad, and it was cool to see Mark Brown together and listen to music, eat good food. I think for me, I wondered, how did I used to do this before? Before the pandemic, I used to be in conferences all day and night. And then after spending so much time at home, I was like, man, how did I used to have the energy for this?
Yeah. It-
Okay. Are there any more questions from folks? If- Oh,
I
go.
just wanted to say welcome back.
Oh, geez.
Amy Starbird.
I missed you.
Okay.
Oh, we have one more question.
One more. Okay.
Okay, one more question from Askutuyuk Adi.
Hi, um, I have a question on reference to our names, because when my father passed away, I moved to Huna to be with my mom, and all I did was play basketball the last 3 years of high school. And so I took off. I didn't get to learn the language or so forth, and I missed her 40-day party and didn't get a name. And normally if you're at all the potlatches and so forth, you get a name. So I made it to 58 without a name. So how do I get a name? Do I wait till another deceased or so forth, or wait till I'm an elder and I more of an elder and give my own self a name? Because normally it comes from the elders.
Yeah.
So
Usually you get a name, family name, when you're born. Your mom, your aunt, your grandmother would decide what name to give you. At that time, there is no ceremony, but it's up to the chiefs to get together at the council of chiefs to get together to decide what name we should get. And then there's a ceremony because they have to make that public, let the public know what your new name is. So I'm not sure how they do it at 40 Day. I haven't been there for such a long time, but that's new to me.
mhm.
Yeah, I've been seeing that lately, people being given names by the clan at a potlatch.
Mhm. And especially deceased, when they go to the funerals, when all the elders are gathered, and we'll get our names, but been missing out on a lot of those. So
Yeah, I'm not sure the potlatches, uh, how they design it anymore, because they used to be have a real strict policy protocol
Mm.
for that, all that. And I haven't been to a potlatch in a long time since I think when my niece died, I was there. So after someone is gone, then that name can be used passed on to another relative, and your family can do this, is to give you another name that was used by someone else that is gone. And
When you say other, like right now, all the mothers from my side of the family, I'm the sole survivor. So how do I get, I mean, who do I ask on my family side to give me a new name if all the mothers, Tlingit mothers, are deceased and I'm the sole survivor?
well, it's wonderful how the whole system is designed, because even though your mother's gone, you still have people that are close because of the clan system. If that's being used so you can ask your uncles or your and the mother's sister is called your little mother, and that's the person that probably can start asking if you could receive a name. So your uncle on your mother's side, your mother's brother.
Sheesh.
Yeah, okay.
Skinyata, did you have a question as well? Okay, she said no.
I actually just wanted to, excuse me, add to the names. A lot of questions about names. And I just wanted to share real quickly. My name was given to me at Ku'ich, or ceremony it was a memorial, Ku'ich. And my mother, Mary Lekanoff, her Tlingit name is Duya. She worked with Cecilia Kuhn's kin too. And they spent a lot of time working on names for, according to them, they spent days working on names. And so what I just wanted to add is that there was a lot of thought and consideration that was given to individuals in terms of what kind of personalities do they have, what are their likes, dislikes. There was all these things that were weighed into that consideration. And so when I fast forward to present day, and I love my name and what it stands for, and it's interesting to learn now in present day that my name really does apply to who I am. Gunaschish.
Okay, thanks for sharing with us. We have time for questions.
Okay,
Okay,
we're done with the questions.
there's 2 more hands raised.
Okay.
Okay, Sani.
Yeah, goodness, Chase, I was wondering about if more than, or what happens when 2 people have the same name.
That happens. I grew up with 2 boys that were called Kashan. And so the names that are passed on, sometimes a nickname like that one is also passed on. So it does happen. I think I met another person that has my name too. So.
Okay. And click Yadi.
Yeah, I had messaged you about just kind of learning my great grandmother's Tlingit name, and my mom had always wanted to name me after her, but didn't know her name until recently. And I have no idea how to say it. I think you mentioned that it might mean crowd, um, but I could write it in the chat too.
Yeah, gets was her name that we talked about yesterday. That
Yeah,
had-
to to get.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
it's what happens because the development recently of the alphabet by the Downhowers is a major way we write now. But before that, people used to try to write it with the way they hear it in English, with English letters. And it kind of works in some cases. In some cases. But it's confusing. So, and the other thing that happens with names is that you lose the meaning. I don't know if it's the different pronunciations we give, or the changes in the language, or I don't know, or the reason that the name was given is gone. So it's something that happens and we can't figure it out. So we just go ahead and use the names.
Mhm.
Sheesh.
Uh, Okay, let's jump into our pronunciation of vowels. And before we practice, we just wanted to share a few reasons why we stress vowels. Firstly, the pronunciation of vowels is very important. Pronouncing the vowels incorrectly can change the meaning of what you're saying. So it's important to learn them both in their length and tone so that you're saying what you mean to say. So we'll continue practicing and reviewing pronunciation of vowels using the video by Rene. We encourage you to review that video as your homework when you're off time. And I've included the link to that video here, so I'll just paste it in the chat. Okay. So there you go. The link to that video is in the chat. And since the vowels are so important, throughout the class, if Shiksani hears a vowel mispronounced, we'll go back over them as a group. So not singling you out, but just, taking note, we still need to work on vowels. And then as for the spelling, there aren't substitutions. We'll be using the Downhauer orthography. So vowels will be written the same way every time for the sound. And I see a hand up by Edna.
Yes, thank you. Ganeshish. Are the comments in the chat available after the class? I know in some Zooms I've been on, they kind of disappear when the Zoom is over. So are they?
Thanks for bringing that up. Kachgun, do we have access to the chat after class is over?
Yes, we do. And oh, sorry, I'm echoing, Grandma.
It's very spooky for Halloween.
Okay, yeah, I can send the chat over to you and then we'll figure out how to get it to everyone. Also on the subject of names, I don't have access to raise my hand, but I was curious if you guys knew when you're given a birth name, Tlingit birth name, and then later on in life are given a second name, when you're giving your introduction, do you just use your second name from that point on?
Use your preferred name. My birth name was different than the one that was given to me after I was born. A few months after I was born. So I that's my preferred name I use. So it's up to you. It's your identity.
Okay. So I just put a chart on the screen, and let me include the link to where you can find this as well, but this is our vowel chart. So one moment, I'll put this in the chat. And the link I'm including in the chat is a link to the Beginning Tlingit workbook by Rene. And so if you click that link I just put in, you can open up the Tlingit workbook. It's a PDF file on an online drive, and you can scroll through to vowels. And so I just included a screenshot of it here. And so on the left-hand side, you'll see the short vowels, both low and high. And on the right-hand side, you'll see the long vowels, both low and high. And so what we'll do now is Shuksani Keek is gonna help us practice our pronunciation.
Okay. I went to college in dark ages. I can't even begin to tell you when that was. So everything is really new to me. All of a sudden, I found myself teaching on Zoom, and all of this. I'm so glad I have so many people handy to work some of these issues out. And one thing I learned from teaching in person in class is that the handiness of phones. So what I want you to do is to record me when I say the letters, so that you can have it handy wherever you are as I say them. And I can't stress enough times that to how important the vowels are, because we're used to speaking English, and then we react to the letters when we see it with our English mind. So what I want you to understand is the difference in the sound. And Lance Twitchell has designed his vowel page to show the letters and then high tone, and I don't do that. So what we're going to learn is the letters without the high tones. That'll come soon enough when I think that's putting too much on you for that. The vowels are really, really important for being able to recognize and say, sound out words in Tlingit when you see it. And you're going to be able to do that once you get the hang of the letters, and that you react to it with thinking like a Tlingit. And that's why it's so important to me to keep stressing, because you can't imagine how many times people slip up and start saying the letters wrong. And as long as I hear that, then I keep teaching the vowels. So I don't know how we're going to be able to do that on Zoom, because I want you to record. Usually what I do is I say the letter and then say it after me so I can hear. But we're not going to be able to do that because it's like an echo system when you all get start repeating. So get your recording devices out. And since this class is recorded, you can probably go back to it and listen to it, and you'll have to hear it over and over in order to get it into your head. There's 8 vowels, and there's a single letter, and I call it single letter. And then there's another list of the 2 letters, and that's considered one sound. And so I say double letter A, double letter O, things like that. So that's what I mean. Single letter, double letter, single letter, double letter. Okay. So if you're ready with your recordings, let's begin. And you don't have to say it. I just want you to listen as to how I say it, but follow the chart if you have it. Single letter A, ah, very short and abrupt. Single letter A, ah. Double letter A, ah, ah. Single letter A, ah. Double A, ah. Next one, single letter I, eh. Single letter I, eh. E-I, A, E-I, A. Back up to the top, single letter A, ah. Double A, ah. Single letter I, eh. E-I, A. Next one, single letter E, eh. Single letter E, eh. Double E, E. Single letter E, eh. Double E, E. Back up to the top, single letter A, ah. Double A, ah. Single letter I, eh. E-I, A. Single letter E, eh. Double E, E. Single letter U, single letter U, double O, ooh. Single letter U, double O, ooh. From the top, single letter A, ah. Double A, ah. Single letter I, eh. E-I, A. Single letter E, eh. Double E, E. Single letter U, double O, ooh. So I hope that you, if you didn't get the recording, then go back to the computer and it should be on there. So the hint is to make the single letters very short and abrupt. Ah, eh, eh. So, and for those of you that know Tlingit already, everybody used to giggle because Tlingit, the word means something gross. So that one is easy to remember. So are there any comments or questions?
Yeah, it looks like we have a question from Askutuyik Shah.
Yeah, I'm sorry if this is a obvious question. So looking at the chart, do the short and long vowels, are they coupled together? Because like, so the A and the double A and the E and the EI and the I and the E, because when we went through it, like the chart doesn't match
Yeah.
how we went through it,
Yeah,
or is it like they're separate 8 letters?
I mentioned that I don't do the high tone letters. I just want you to learn. I just want you to learn the letter, 8 letters. Never mind the high tone. You'll get that later.
Thank you.
I know that Fune usually has them do the high tone, but I don't do that. It's do the regular sounds and the high tone. Well, as we come to it in words, I stress it at that time.
Okay. Are there any more questions
Or comments?
or comments?
Okay, how much time do we have?
We still have about 20 minutes, 18 minutes.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's 12:38.
Okay. For the breakout room on Thursday, you've been doing the knock knock, and that it is going to get longer as we go because I'll keep adding phrases. So get your pens out, your pencils sharpened for the next 2 lines to be added to the phrase of knock knock. So up to now you have knock knock, adu sawe, give your name, yeah, and the person answers Nate go is come on in. And those of you that were raised in the village know that we don't really do Nate that much. People just knock and walk in. So that's kind of an extra thing that you're learning. But that's the expectation. People don't lock their doors. I know sometimes people go in and say, knock, knock. They say, hello, and go in there. Nobody home. They say, just go back out. So that part you have already done. And so the next 2 lines I need for you to write. The first word is HAAW, period. Next word, HAAT. Next word, G underline I. YA. TIN. Tone mark on the last I. So you have a double A at the beginning. So it's ah, and second word again, double A, ah, and second word, a third word is eh. And then a single A, T, and then another I, eh. So the first word is how. It's a term of surprised expression. You're surprised to see somebody. How? So I expect you to pause after you say that. You don't just say how hot kayatin. It's how hot kayatin. It's a separate phrase altogether. Pay. And the W serves the same purpose as white man's W. You purse your lips on that. So I hope you can see me when I say how. So watch my lips, how. And that's one phrase. Then you go on, hot, double A, hot, with an H, H-A-A-T, and K, underline G-I, K, high tone, yeah, Y-A-T-I-N, high tone on the I. Hot kriyatin, hot kriyatin. So without the tone mark, it would sound like hot kriyatin. Very bored sounding. Like, well, yeah, you're here. But you're surprised to see this person. Okay, the answer, the one that knocked is the one that will answer that. How hot kriyatin. Two A's and another A, so there's three A's altogether. The high tone is on the last A, period. So it's a positive word, say yes. Then the next phrase, tatke, T-A-T, tatke, G-E. T-A-T-G-E, tatke. Hot, H-A-A-T, hot. And this is one word, H-A-A-T, K underline. The underline K is in your throat. So if you say to yourself that regular K, ku, then move it back in the back of your throat. It's ku. So hot ku. And then there's an X underlined, and that one you gargle, like something is in your throat. And a W, so right away you purse your lips. Are you looking at my mouth? Hot. Tin, T-I-N. Tatke, hat kohwa tin. Tone mark on the last I. So the second line is ah. That's one phrase. Tatke hat kohwa tin. And I hope you can hear the tone mark where your voice goes up on that last I. Hat kohwa tin. And the underline X and the W, you need to purse your lips. Some of my students called it the kissing letter. Purse your lips around the X. Hat kohwa tin. Hat kohwa tin. The Lingit language is very monotone. That's why the tone marks are really important. As we come to it, I'll have to stress it because the tone marks is important to say it at the right place. Otherwise, it turns into a kind of a negative phrase. So we got to watch that. Yeah. So the phrase, the two phrases is how. Take a pause. How. Hat kia tin. Ah. Tatke hat kohwa tin. Tatke hat kohwa tin. So are there any questions or comments on that? Underline X, you gargle it, you like clearing your throat. But just be aware that that W is with it. So you give it a kiss with the W. Hua,
Hua,
hua tin.
hua, tin.
Okay, tatke. Did I give you a tone mark for that one on the GE? Tatke. At hua tin.
It's like a high tone E at the end of tatke.
Yeah. And the reason I like for you to write down or work on writing and on the computer or something is that you need to get used to saying the letters as I explain them. And there's a lot of letters that that has a lot of X's. So you're going to get used to that right away. So, hat hua, hua, tin. And so did everybody leave?
No, they had a few questions in the chat and I answered them by typing. But there's another question in the chat. It says, is this piece of the conversation written in the slides? And yeah, these are the phrases that Shuksani Keek just added, are these two phrases in the slide. And I'll post this on our learning platform, Tohudi. I'll post it after class today.
Yeah, if you still have your recording devices on, you need to hear it so you can practice it. And it's not just the reading. That's one thing I really like, is to learn how to write it and recognize what you have, but it's also the correct pronunciation with the high tones. So
We had another question in the chat. It says, would it be possible to hear the whole conversation spoken so that students can record right now?
yeah, you and I could do it.
Okay.
So you want to do the knock knock?
Yeah. Okay, guys, go ahead and get your recording devices ready and we'll do the whole dialogue right now. Knock knock.
Adu sawe
Nila Torah aya.
neishku.
How?
No,
Patriatin.
no,
that you?
that's for me.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm the one that says neishku, and I'm surprised to see her. How? Hatriatin.
Ah, tatke hat kwatin.
Yeah,
Should we do it again?
yeah.
Okay. Knock knock.
Adu sawe
Nila Torah aya.
neishku. How? Hatriatin.
Ah, tatke hat kwatin.
Mm,
Ah,
the phrases you're learning because of me and the books that are written is the Northern Tlingit style of speaking. So you start going down towards Cake and Wrangell, and then there's a change in the way they speak. And I can't imitate that, but it is still Tlingit. It's still our language, whether it's the Southern style or not. And you go to the Walk and Craig, the there's a different way of speaking. I call it the Southern style. So then if you go to Haynes and Yakutat, I think those two are pretty similar, far north, because of the context they have. Even their style of clothing is change, different looks because of their contact with the Canadian Indians. From what I understand, the Canadian Tlinkits speak this exact same language, and a lot of them are from descendants of Angoon. I was surprised to find that, and the clothing that they have is totally Tlingit. So it's really interesting. That's a total different subject, though. So one that I like. So I hope that that once you learn the phrases, that you will begin to start doing some acting and just, give it a good college try to make it a conversation, like you are thinking about. Just make sure that you watch the tone marks And make sure you gargle the X and kiss it with a W. Are there any other comments or questions?
Oh, there's a question in the chat and it says, can you please tell me the proper way to pronounce my name? And so this was one of our students that emailed us and we advised her to go by Si Yetke for baby doll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hear how it sounds? Is that it? Siyatki. Yadi is a word for a child, but we put the X or the pinch letter on the end. Is makes it like more tiny, smaller. C is a doll. Siyatki. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Can you do that for my name too? Pronounce it a couple times so I can practice by Thursday. Kanishtish.
So that was Askutuyik Adi.
Us good to you.
Yik.
Us good to yik.
Askutuyik Adi. Thing in the woods, like a forest animal.
It's spider.
No. Spider is Kanasat. Kanasat is spider. Askutu is in the woods. Yik inside, I think yik adi belongs in the woods, belongs in the forest. Us.
I was thinking a spider in the forest. In the forest.
No,
Spider.
no. Spider is what did I say it was?
Oh, yes, Kanasat.
Kanasat. So that word isn't in there at all.
Okay.
Askutu.
Okay.
Adi.
So I will change mine.
So spider in the woods would that be Askutuyik Kanasat.
Right? That would be the one that's spider in the woods.
Yeah.
That's the one I wanted.
Askutu. Askutu. There's put a tone mark on two.
Okay, Askutu Kanasat.
It's interesting that for a lot of animals, we don't have a lot of high tones. Because I think we're kind of serious about that. It's something that I say I didn't read it in a book or anything. I just out of my own feeling is that things are more serious when there's no tone marks, and it sounds more cheerful when you have it. Tone marks. So that's my impression. So somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but because of my study on animals, a lot of the animals do not have tone marks.
We're right at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay, last chance for comments or questions.
Oh, Claw, I see your hand is up.
No. I'm good. I have to go.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah. Good. She's thank you.
Sheesh.
there's one more. Claw, did you have a question?
Ganeshish, thank you for your help with my name. Also, I was just wondering if you could show us one more time how you make that dictionary searchable.
Oh yeah, I'll just share my screen here. And so the way I access the online dictionary is I'll go to clinkitlanguage.com and then under resources, I'll hit dictionary and I'll click the HTML version because if I'm using it online, it's searchable. You have to scroll down and hit Lingit because I usually will look things up on the Lingit side. And then to search, if you're on a Mac, just hold down Command and hit F, and that'll open this search tab. If you're on another type of PC, it'll be Control F. And then you can type in your word and hit enter. And every time you hit enter, it'll scroll to the second appearance of that word.
Ganeshish.
Shawat Kedan, did you have a question?
Yes, I was just wondering.
Oh, there's might be an issue with your microphone. I can't hear you. I see your baby, cute. I see you're unmuted, but your audio is not coming through.
Hello?
Okay, yeah, I hear you.
Hi. I was just wondering, are there supposed to be any tone marks or underlines in my name? Since we were talking about
Tone marks or underlines in her name, and it's Shawat Kedan.
or if I even spelled that last word right.
It's hard to hear you because it's real quiet, but I think Shawat would have a high tone A, and what? Shawat. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm not sure about the second half of your name. I would have to look.
What'd she spell it?
She spelled it Shawat, and then the second word is Kedan.
Down. Kid down. Shawat Kedan. We'll have to work on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to work on that. Okay, I don't see any other hands up, but thank you for coming here. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you on Thursday.